I just moved in my new house today. Moving was hard, but I got squared away. Bells started ringing and chains rattled out. I knew I'd moved in a haunted house. Still I made up in my mind to stay. Nothing was gonna drive me away. When I seen something that give me the creep. Had one big eye and two big feet. I stood right still and I did the free. He did the stroll right up to me. Made a noise with his feet that sound like a drum. Say you'll be here when the morning comes. Say yes, I'll be here when the morning comes. I'll be right here and I ain't gonna run. I bought this house, now you know I'm boss. Ain't no Hank gonna run me off. In my kitchen, my stove was a-blazing hot. The coffee was a-boiling in the pot. The grease had melted in my hand. I had a hunk of meat in my hand. From outer space there sat a man. On a hot stove with the pots and pans. Say that's hot, I began to shout. He drank a hot coffee right from the spout. He ate the raw meat right from my hand. Drank a hot grease from the frying pan. He said to me, now you better run. Don't be here when the morning comes. See, yes, I'll be here when the morning comes. I'll be right here and I ain't gonna run.
Hello, welcome to Not the Show. I'm Joe.
And I am Mondo.
How are you, buddy?
I'm doing all right, man. How are you? You're
good.
older since the last time we talked.
Has it been that long?
Yes.
That sucks.
September 22nd, last show.
Wow, it's been a month.
Yeah, I know. We were on a roll there.
You were.
And then you got old.
I did. I got old. It sucks being old.
Yeah, it does.
So what's new?
Nothing. I got an iPhone.
I know. You know what? There's a lot of news, right? I got all this news set aside here. You know, we were talking about pulling up articles before the show and
Right.
a whole list of stuff. And you got an iPhone and like lots of cool stuff went on, right? I got my new iPhone. We both got new iPhones since the last show. Maybe I didn't even have mine at that point. I'm not sure, but some really exciting things happened today. Marvel announced all their third-tier movies, right?
Yeah.
Including Benedict Cumberbatch is going to be Captain Marvel, and like he's in every good movie. I'm sorry, Doctor Strange. He's in like every good movie, every new movie now, of course.
Yeah.
But before we talk about any of that, and maybe we'll never even get to any of that stuff, but there was huge news this week, and that's where we're going to start. So
Ebola?
Yeah, we do. Ebola is there, but let's start with this first. Ooh, I don't know if it's going to play. Not going to play. It's a YouTube video. Shouldn't it play?
It should play. I would think it would play.
I would think it would play too. All right, so I don't have to play it. It's not really all that important to play it. But the big news this week was Twin Peaks.
Yes.
Month. The big news this month was Twin Peaks.
That's the biggest news this year.
Yes, this was huge news for us, I suppose, being
Yes.
fans of the show. So Mark Frost and David Lynch announced that Showtime has ordered a 9-episode continuation of the series to debut in 2016.
Right.
25 years. It's been 25 years.
Right. Laura Palmer said that she would see Dale Cooper in 25 years.
That's right.
David Lynch is a genius. He was in it for. He knew. He was just like, you know what? He said, we're just gonna let them cancel the series. We're gonna come back in 25 years.
Crazy.
I'd like to think that he planned that out.
I'd like to think so too. I'm not sure about that.
He's like, it'll take 25 years for television to reach the point where a show like ours can be appreciated.
It's very true. Showtime is probably a great place for it, by the way. I don't know if do you have Showtime?
I do.
Good. See, then we'll have no trouble in 2 years talking about it. So it ended. I don't want to give too many spoilers away because we do have people in the world that haven't seen Twin Peaks. Probably more than a few people haven't seen the original Twin Peaks.
But it's on the Netflix.
It is. It's on behind me, actually.
Oh.
The first season was relatively short and very, very good. First season was awesome. And then the second season was also good, but it had some weird storylines that weren't quite as good as others mixed in with the good stuff.
Yeah.
They went in some strange directions for some stuff.
Yeah, it was kind of bizarre would be a good word. However,
the whole Wyndham Earl.
Yeah, Wyndham Earl, though, like that whole storyline also gave us, can't remember the actors, David Duchovny in drag.
Yes, which was awesome.
As an FBI agent who was a cross-dresser.
That's right.
This is pre-Fox Mulder.
Yes, you know who? You know what? Coop is in a TV show now. He's in a superhero show.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right. He plays the most recent. He plays Sky's dad, or the villain of the month on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right.
this season, which is cool. So yeah. So last we left Coop, he was possessed by an evil spirit, and we had no idea what was going to happen, and trapped in a mystical black lodge, and crazy spot to stop. And then he did a movie.
Yes, which was like a prequel.
Right.
That really answered no questions that we wanted answered.
None, and you can't watch the movie before the series because the movie is the story of what happened before the first season.
Right.
It's really all backstory.
It's like the movie adaptation of the tie-in book Diary of Laura Palmer.
Right.
Sort of. Pretty much.
Yeah. Definitely something like that. There's going to be another book, by the way.
Yeah, like I heard, was it supposed to catch us up on what everyone's been doing for the past 25 years?
Yes, it's supposed to be a book to catch us up in the in-between stuff.
Now, do you watch Psych?
I watched the Twin Peaks episode of Psych.
Okay, yeah, me too. I don't watch Psych, but I did watch that episode.
I did. It was very funny.
So, I mean, they're not going to look too old. You know, I think they're all going to look fine.
I think they're going to look 25 years older, which is supposed to be how it's going anyway.
Right. Now, this is a problem with TV, is when they make people 25 years older, like they make them look so much older than they really look in 25 years.
I mean, and David Duchovny, and not David Duchovny, and Coop, his aged look at the last episode of season 2, they aged him. They made him look 25 years older, but he doesn't really look that old currently.
No, they made him look like 50 years older.
Yeah, they made him look really gray and really old.
He's like ancient.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like, one of the ones that pisses me off the most is Star Trek Next Generation. There was that one where, like, Picard was like, I don't know, he was living a life in a flute or something.
Yes.
And they showed him, like, 20 years later, and he was like a crippled up old, like, hey, what? I'm old and I play a flute, god damn it. And he was, like, really fucking old. And it's, like, been way more than 20 years, and he looks exactly the same. He doesn't
It's
look
true.
any different.
It's true. You're identical. You're absolutely right.
You know
But,
what though? Wasn't there a problem with the son on that Next Generation episode, like that planet with the flute?
maybe
Because sun will fuck your skin up.
that's true.
All right, so I'll let that slide. Let's get back to Cooper.
Okay. Yeah. So Cooper is awesome. So there's a little bit of an interview here in one of these articles, and it says that they asked Mark Frost about Laura Palmer, who told Agent Cooper, "I'll see you in 25 years. Is that a coincidence?" And he says, "When you see it, you'll know." She asked if it was a remake. He said, "It is not a remake. The story continues. The seeds of where we go were planted where we've been." He says that they're not really calling it a season 3, but that's just not the way his brain works, he said. It feels more like a novel that they film every page of. So it's almost like they found another volume.
Volume 3.
Yeah. They're going to try and bring back as many of the old cast members as possible. We would see new faces. But none of those who want to see the old faces should be disappointed. Too early to talk specifics. The World of Fire Walk With Me is considered canon as part of the mythology of the show.
Even Chris Isaac?
I guess so. Now, Bob, did you know that Frank Silva, the actor who played Bob, is dead?
Okay.
So they do ask him how they're going to deal with that. By the way, did you know, I started listening to this Twin Peaks podcast when they announced this. There's this, like, Twin Peaks rewatch, and they're watching each episode, and after each episode they're doing a show, and they're doing like half the show they're just talking generalities about it, and the other half they're spoiling things because they know what's coming in the future. It's interesting to listen to, the two guys. I don't know if I agree with everything that they say, which is good. It's an interesting show, but I never knew that he was just a set dresser. The character who played Bob, he was never supposed to be in the show, and they just threw him in last minute. Weird, huh? Oh, I can't hear you anymore. I don't know what happened to your mic.
Muted it in my. You said Twin Peaks podcast, and I leaped for my mouse, and I accidentally hit the mute button on my microphone. What is the what's the? Is it the Twin Peaks podcast? Is that what it's?
I think it's the Twin Peaks rewatch. Here, I have it right in front of me here. So it's the Twin Peaks rewatch. Let me see if there's a URL. There's no URL, but you
thumbs.
Type it into your podcatcher, whatever you're using.
Right now I'm just pulling it up on iTunes. I've found it, and I am
right. They're up to episode 3, so yeah, it's easy to catch up.
Subscribe
if you wanted to. Yeah, I did too. It's interesting. They're two guys. They do another podcast somewhere else, and that's why they have a pretty big. They had emails already coming from their audience members for a week, so they must have a show that's pretty big somewhere else.
Right.
And there was some other neat stuff that they knew that I didn't know. Like there was in one of the early episodes, Coop asks someone a question, and they instead of answering him, they just say like Dave. And then he just asked the question again, and then they answer. And Lynch just left that in. It was an accident. The guy just said the wrong thing, and things like that are what makes it so awesome, the show. I don't know if you're gone now. You think you froze up? Too much going on. I think you froze. I think you're turning on iTunes screwed you. So some of the other things that this article says is, while we wait for you to come back, if you come back, is that they trying to bring the show back to the way it was in season 1, which is good because season 1 was better than season 2, and their goal and intention is to commit to these 9 and not commit to anything else yet. But they may do more episodes after that, those 9, which is interesting. I don't know what I would do there, because do you want it to end after 9 episodes, or do you want it to go on? Do you want then what? Then when it gets canceled again, screwed again? So all of that's very interesting. I'll bring that up to Mondo when he comes back, but he is gone at the moment. More Twin Peaks news. Angelo Baldamini may or may not do the score. He's not saying whether or not it's going to be the same music. And he says the climate of TV is very different than when Twin Peaks was on 25 years ago. There was nothing like it at a time, and nowadays there's hundreds of imitators, and they're going to try not to have the novelty of the show be different than it was. They think that they'll be able to effectively translate into today's culture. You back?
Yes. Today's culture. What you said, bro.
Okay, I was just reading more of the article to whoever was listening.
Okay.
My big question was.
I was really gone.
My big question that I had for you is, what do they do? Do they commit to these 9 episodes and end it, or do they do 9 episodes and then when Showtime says they want to renew it, then it doesn't end again, right? And it gets renewed, and okay, so maybe we get a second season on Showtime, but that was the problem the first time, is that we didn't get a 3rd season. So what's to keep that from happening again? Should they stick to the 9? Should we hope that they don't and we want more than 9? I don't know how to feel about it.
I want them to stick to the 9 and leave things open for a continuation, because I don't want to go through that again. I don't want another 25 years of like Coop slamming his, face into the mirror. Where's A? I don't want to wait another 25 years to find out if Audrey blew up in the bank, if she died when the bank blew up. It's like I don't want cliffhanger.
Okay, so but you don't mind leaving some things open for another season.
Right, especially stuff that you can just kind of be like, well, I can maybe think to myself that this is how I think that should have happened. Maybe, Bobby will get older again. I don't know, but yeah, I don't want big cliffhangers. I mean, unless they have a guaranteed, like if the ratings the first couple episodes are awesome, and Showtime renews it for like another season, like before the first season airs, like, because that seems to be the thing people do now.
Yes.
They just like it so much they're just like, yeah, we'll give you 3 fucking seasons. I don't even care who's watching. I like it, but if they have a guaranteed second season like early on, then I won't mind a cliffhanger. But I would like the story to be more or less complete when it's done. I don't want to wait another 25 years.
Yeah, I have to agree. He does say that fans felt let down by how the story ended. Are you looking at this as an opportunity to bring the story to a more satisfying conclusion? And Mark Frost says, it is our hope that these episodes will give the fan everything they felt they hadn't gotten the last time we left off. That's a hopeful statement, I suppose.
It is. I mean, really, though, it's like I want Dale Cooper to be okay, and I want to find out whether or not Audrey and Pete died in that bank.
Yeah.
And I'm good after that. Like, and everything else is gravy.
Yeah, I agree. I think that
those were 2 huge cliffhangers.
They were. Ooh, I think I'm going to get the video to play if we want to see the trailer video.
Sure.
Maybe. Getting weird. I got a weird.
And the town probably hasn't changed much, because I think like most of their economy is based on the fact that people like to drive through and look at the Twin Peaks town.
They do. There's a lot of that.
So, the town probably has not changed much at all.
I think it hasn't. I know there are tours that go through there. I follow some Facebook page where they still go once a year. They still do conventions. They still get the actors to show up at the conventions.
That's awesome. Most of them aren't doing much, are they?
No, I don't think so.
What is Bobby Briggs doing?
Oh, I hated Bobby Briggs, by the way.
And what is Oh, what's this motorcycle kid's name?
Mike.
Mike.
Not Mike. Bobby and Mike were the bad guys.
Right. Mike
right?
was the Mike was the wannabe villain from Karate Kid. He looked like
Yeah.
it. Right.
Yeah. And it was Mike and Bobby and
Sweep the leg.
Mike and Bobby. Who was the biker? The biker was crap. It was the general's son. No, the general's son was Bobby. That was Briggs.
Bobby Briggs, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't
I remember
his name.
everybody else's name except for that pouty, glittery vampire-looking kid on the motorcycle.
His storyline in the second season was maybe the worst part of the second season.
Yeah. Oh my God.
He hooked up with that blonde woman and fixing cars, and they killed her husband. And...
Yeah, he's like, I'm driving away from Twin Peaks because I'm moody. I'm the Robert Pattinson of the 1990s.
I also listened to like a TV a Cord Cutters podcast called Cord Killers, and they one of the two guys had seen it years ago and was very excited for it coming, and the other guy had never watched it, so he made him watch the pilot, and he had all kinds of problems with the pilot. He said that all these country bumpkin type characters are stupid, and the acting is terrible. All the men are bad actors, and he had some real issues with some of that stuff. Not all of it. I mean, he enjoyed the tone, and I do think that it gets into its stride more like episode 2 or episode 3. And I mean, because episode 1 I think was before they knew that they were going to get any more episodes. The pilot was like a standard TV pilot where they submit it to a studio and they wait and hope that they're going to get picked up.
Right.
So it was. It was oddly paced compared to all the other episodes, and he also said compared to like today's like police procedurals, this was very plodding, very slow, and again I think that's because it was a pilot, not a standard episode.
Right.
Anyway,
I mean, because the pilot even had an end to the like as a TV movie.
Right. They call that they call that now the European version. Because it actually had an ending. It had, you found out who killed, you found out about Bob, you found out a lot of stuff. The one-armed man was in it more, things like that.
Bob was a weird guy in the basement. He was still Bob, but he was in the basement with candles and like a really messed up looking dirt birthday cake or something.
Yeah.
And it's like that was like how they resolved it. It's like all that, and then they just go down to the basement. Like, don't they just like they're just like, look, it's some weird looking guy, and they shoot him. And then Cooper blows the candle out.
That's right.
And he's like, no series for you.
Yeah, that was not. I mean, I've seen it, but that was not.
Yeah.
Not the best way to go there.
No.
I'm gonna play the announcement. I'll play the announcement video now since I finally get it to work. I might as well play it. First, there's gonna be a commercial. That's a show. It was short.
It was very short. Oh, she's pointing. I thought she was like fist bumping me. Fist bump.
There's not much to it, but still. When I first saw it, I was like, this is awesome. And Lynch had hinted about it on Twitter like the week before.
Yes, he was.
There's the music.
I was going to be so mad if like David Lynch was just fucking with us.
Very excited.
Yes, and for Twin Peaks, that's all I need. I didn't need to see anything else.
No.
I have that soundtrack on cassette somewhere. I still have it, I believe.
I have it too. I looked for it in my iTunes library just now because I wanted to play some of the music. I thought maybe I'd play the music today, but I don't have it on. I don't have it on. I never ripped the DVD, or maybe it was a cassette. Maybe that's why. But yeah, I didn't have it. So a little bit more about the book. The book promises to offer a deeper look into the 25 years between. The book will come out late 2015 in advance of the series. That's it. Nothing much there.
Something else to wait for.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's okay. I don't mind waiting. I want them to do it right, and if it's going to take them 2 years to get it right, then I'm sort of okay with getting it right.
Sure. I hear you.
What else do I have? I think there's one more article here. It's the actual tweet. David Lynch tweeted on October 3rd, 2014. Dear Twitter friends, that gum you like is going to come back in style.
Yeah.
Hashtag damn good coffee. That was a huge hint. I mean,
yeah, it was.
I mean, a lot of people thought he was just messing with us, but that was big.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I was like, that motherfucker.
What else is here? I bought the Blu-ray box set, so I have that. That came out very recently. All the episodes were written and produced by Lynch and Frost, with Lynch directing all 9 episodes.
I like that too.
Ray Wise, so do I, definitely. Ray Wise said they wouldn't remake it. Ray Wise plays Laura Palmer's dad. They wouldn't remake it. If anything was done, it would be 25 years later. So he must have had some hints there that he knew. It would never be a remake of anything we already did. It will be something new and fresh. David always said the town of Twin Peaks is still there. It's still going on whether we watch it or not. So what happens in the future, it will be 25 years later, not anything remade. And that was another hint that came out before the actual news was announced. And that's it. I think that's all I have on Twin Peaks. I knew it was going to take half the show, and I'm super excited about it.
She's dead, wrapped in plastic.
Yeah.
I have to change the show art now.
You did? You didn't know it was going to be all Twin Peaks, nothing but Twin Peaks this week?
No, but like I just thought it would be more suitable. But that's okay.
We got to other stuff. We could talk about iPhones.
Yeah, still, but you know.
And we could talk about iPhones.
Twin Peaks is just awesome. Yeah. But yeah, we can talk about iPhones. I have an iPhone now.
Oh, you do. Let's talk about your iPhone before we take a break and you can go on to like the other 10 stories I have here.
I have an iPhone 6. Oh, not the 6 Plus. That thing is too big.
It was big.
You know, I don't care how tough they make it. I absolutely believe that thing is bending in people's pockets, you know. And I'm not saying it's like a design flaw. I'm just saying you can't have something that big and that thin and not expect it to bend. That's just physics.
You're right.
And, you know, titanium, maybe, if they made it out of titanium. But, you know, they don't. You know, it's like it's metal, plastic, and glass, and it's going to bend. It's like, you know, aluminum, plastic, and glass, and it's going to bend. The thing is too effing big.
Very, very true. People should be more careful with their phone.
And like I said, even the Note 4, I was telling you this in text the other day, even the Note 4 would have been too big for me. Like the Note 3, I think the Note 2 was actually probably the perfect phone size for me. It's still a little bigger than my iPhone 6.
What size was the screen?
I don't remember offhand, but it was
Maybe it was 5
size.
Maybe it was 5 or so, because the 6 Plus is 5.5 and the 6 is 4.7, so somewhere between.
Yeah, definitely somewhere between. It was the perfect size for me. In fact, yeah. I miss it when I pick up, because I still use it around the house and stuff. Like, you know, I got to connect to the Wi-Fi. It's like I've got all these apps on it that I still use constantly. You know, I use it for listening to audiobooks, like in the house while I'm doing other things with my iPhone. But I look at the screen and I'm just like, oh, it's like a little bigger, and oh, I miss you. But I'm very happy with my iPhone.
Oh, that's good.
I'm gonna show it to the audience again. Like if you're listening to the podcast, like you can't see me like holding up my shiny iPhone. Oh, looking up and I got
Yeah, gold or silver.
it's like a night sky.
That's the white front. That means you got either gold or silver.
Yeah, I don't even know what color I got.
You can
Can
tell.
you see it? Can you see it through that hole?
You can tell from around the home button. Is it a gold ring or a silver ring?
That's silver ring.
Then you got silver.
I told him I didn't want gold. I was just like, I don't want gold.
Mm-hmm. I got black this time. I had gold last. I had gold for my 5S. My 6, I got the black. The black and silver. I switch back and forth between the white front and the black front.
Right.
There's the one of them has the black front. The gold and the silver both have white fronts. And I switch year to year. My iPad is white, so I switch back and forth.
Yeah, I like white, and then I got like a black and gray case, which I like. I like the 3 colors together.
Cool.
I don't even know what it looks like outside of the case. Like I put it right in a case.
I am caseless.
I know. What are you, crazy?
I do have a like one of those films, not the kind that goes over the screen. I don't bother to cover the screen, but
right.
I have a plastic. It's almost shrink wrapped on the back to protect. I don't scratch it up because I was keeping it in my pocket for a while, like my front left pocket, and my keys go in there sometimes, and I was afraid I was going to scratch it, but I went back to a holster. I decided that I don't want to scratch it, and it's annoying enough to take it out of my pocket every time I sit down. I almost always want to take it out when I sit down, right? I put it on a table or whatever, but it annoyed me to death to have to take it out to remember, like before I sit, take it out of my pocket. Otherwise, I might bend it or I might scratch it with my keys. So I went back to a belt thing. It's lame and kind of nerdy, but
yeah.
Cool.
No, there's no. I maybe there is something wrong with that. Not that there's anything wrong with being lame and nerdy, but I was gonna say I don't think it's lame and nerdy to do that, but maybe it is. I don't know. But there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, thank you.
Because I think the reason I started laughing was I think I started thinking of Parks and Recreation.
Yeah.
Ron Swanson got he got a new cell phone, and it was an old flip phone kind of thing, and Aziz Ansari was like all freaking out about it, and then he clipped it to his belt, and he was like, "No," because he's kind of weird. I think I put this. I should never have taken the case off, Joe.
Now you'll never get it back in the case.
Get it back on. I think I'm just putting it in the wrong. I think I put the wrong end on first. Oh, I just bent it. No, I didn't. Been so easy.
No bending.
Because I expect it to be invulnerable. Yeah, what do people expect, really? I mean, you got like this big thing. You're sticking it in your pocket. I wouldn't have expected it to be invulnerable.
Either. Stop it with the skinny jeans.
Yeah, damn Skippy.
Stupid skinny jeans people. I haven't heard anything about it in weeks. I think it was like a momentary, ridiculous meme that hit the internet. Apple said it was only like 8 people that really complained about bending phones.
Right.
And then it went away. And then, it's gone now. Have you paid with your phone yet?
No, I don't even want to.
Oh, Apple Pay is awesome.
No, it's bad.
Why is it bad?
I am afraid that I'm just gonna be walking through the store, right? Some guy is gonna buy himself like a huge 120-inch television and all sorts of other nifty things, maybe even like hookers, I don't know. And I'm just gonna walk too close to the register, and I just paid for that.
It doesn't work that way.
Oh, how do I know?
You got a thumbprint. It doesn't work without your thumbprint.
What if I'm walking by and I'm trying to open up my Twitters, and I just happen to walk too close?
I'm pretty sure
what am I going to do with those hookers?
Sure you can then go to the register and say, I think my phone just bought your thing by accident. But I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Oh, no.
I don't think. I went to Walgreens the other day. I bought some stuff. Just tapped my phone on the little terminal thing, thumbprint, paid, receipt, gone.
That is pretty cool. I might do that if more places I shop at do that. I don't really go to Walgreens.
Right. Well, any place that has NFC terminals on their credit card thing should work like for a minute, even though CVS and Rite Aid are not Apple Pay partners, it was working there anyway because they used to take Google Wallet, right? And Google Wallet works with NFC. And they take NFC credit cards. You know, Europeans have credit cards that have NFC already built in. You can just tap and pay. It's coming in the United States too, but that's a whole other story. But then they shut off NFC completely in those stores because they didn't want to let Apple Pay work. So now you can't even use Google Wallet at Rite Aid or CVS anymore. That was a big news story this week.
Europeans don't even shop at those places.
It's true.
I don't know, is it?
I don't know.
But you know, I never used Google Wallet. I mean, I had it. I never used it. And like I said, I don't really even check. I don't even know how many places around me even used Google Wallet. I know Walgreens does.
I think Sheetz takes Google Wallet, but they're not yet a partner with Apple Pay. But if they take Google Wallet, I think you should still be able to tap your phone because NFC is a standard. It's just a standard technology, and all it's doing is it's intermediating the transaction between your credit card and the store. So if they have NFC there that works for Google Wallet, it should work with your phone too.
I might try that then. I might try that this week, and I'll let you know how that goes.
You have to have your bank has to be supported too because it goes to your so that there's no data actually transferred between you and the store. They don't ever know who you are. They don't know your credit card number. They don't know the store doesn't know any of that stuff. It's all secret. It's all hidden. And that secret code on the back of your card is randomly generated. It's all very high security, actually, much more than Google Wallet was. So as long as it's complicated on the back end, but you never know the difference, right? You put your card on a table and you point the camera at it, and it'll scan your numbers, and it'll ask you for the 3-digit code on the back, and you put in the 3-digit code, and then depending on what bank it is, like Chase texted me and said, you have to now verify this. Here's a verification number, and so I had to go back in and type in a new verification number. But other banks, like Bank of America, does it a different way. You have to have the Bank of America app on your phone or something like that. So depending on the bank, it was different authentication methods. But once it's on there, you tap it, and it sends a credit card number that is specifically generated for your phone, not your actual credit card number. So if any place gets hacked, like Home Depot or Target did, they're not getting your actual credit card number ever. They're only getting this one-time use credit card number that's being provided by your bank just for that one use with a transaction ID code that's only for that one transaction. So that's why it's such a good security against hacking these companies that have gotten hacked.
Sounds like it. I don't know. I'm going to try it out.
You see if you like it. See if your bank is supported. And
they should be. I have the best bank.
It'll tell you when you scan the card. It'll tell you if it's supported. Yeah, so I tried that once this week for the first time. McDonald's takes it too. Which is good, except they don't take it at they don't take it at my drive-through. I drive through at McDonald's,
right?
And they have to put the NFC like outside the window, and I don't think they figured out that system yet. They don't have a handheld one that I can tap because I don't want to hand them my phone. But I want to tap it through the window. How many people are going to drop their phones outside drive-through windows?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I don't really go to Starbucks anymore.
Because of drive-through?
No, I had the Starbucks thing where it brings up that little barcode, and they scan the barcode, and like, dude, just like grabbed my phone out of my hand, and I was just like, yo, and it scanned it, and I'm just like, that scanner. A, the scanner lifts up off that base, and B, it's got like this long, like squirrely extension cord. It's like, why you gotta snatch my phone, yo?
Yep, you're right. They do that at. I have my supermarket card on there too, like Stop and Shop card, and my Walgreens card, and all my cards where they're selling my personal information about me,
right?
To get a few dollars off. To get a few dollars off the things I buy.
Right.
They're constantly taking the phone from me to scan. And even at Walgreens, I went there. I wanted to tap to pay. I got to the register and I was like, okay, I have a Walgreens card, and I pulled it up on my phone. They took the phone from me. They scanned the Walgreens card. They handed it back. Then I tapped to pay with my credit card on the credit card terminal.
It's like I might not mind as much if they were like, "May I have your phone, please?" And like I was just like, "Oh, all right, here you go. I'll hand it over to you." But like, don't like, if I'm showing you like a barcode that I'm expecting you to scan, don't go grabbing my phone out of my hand because I guarantee you, if I drop my phone and it breaks because you're snatching it from me, you ain't buying me a new phone.
No.
Starbucks might, like in 5 years, like, of like arguing with customer service
Yeah.
and like talking to Mr. Starbuck. Don't grab stuff from me, man. It's not cool.
Yeah, I definitely hate handing my phone over to store clerks. I think we take a break. We've done it with iPhone. You're liking your iPhone?
I am. I'm still not 100% convinced. I'll tell you that. But I am.
Do you have it connected to your computer? Like, does your iMessage work on computer and on your phone?
Yeah. Yep.
And what about the phone call feature? Like, right when my phone rings now, my computer rings, and I can answer it with speakerphone on my computer if I want.
Yep. I haven't done any of those things, but I set it up. So it's like, my phone rings, and then, like, my computer's ringing too, and I just answer the phone. But I suppose if I was sitting here in front of it, though, that might be a different story.
Mm-hmm. Or if you want to talk to a person about something you're surfing, like if you're surfing and talking at the same time, then you can have them both going, right, without holding the phone up to your head.
Oh, yeah.
Phones do have speakerphone, but I just still think it's neat. It's neat.
Speakerphone is flawed.
Yeah, it
Speakerphone
is.
always sounds like crap.
And our computers are made to do audio broadcasts, so, like, I have a professional quality microphone here that maybe I'll get good quality sound of on a speakerphone call through my computer.
Ooh.
Maybe not.
Try that. Yeah, maybe though. Because I got the Yeti, and the Yeti is like,
You may get excellent sound if you speakerphone through the computer.
Maybe.
I don't know what to call that. Continuity. It's called a continuity feature. But I don't know what else to call it.
Yeah, I saw something about continuity features, and I was just kind of like, yeah, you're just making up fancy words.
There are 3 big continuity features. One of them is you can now get your regular green SMS messages, regular texts, on your iMessage in the computer because they relay them from the phone to the computer. So your computer doesn't actually able to text, but you can get and receive, send and receive regular old text now from the iMessage app on the computer through the phone. That's one of the continuity features. The second one is the speakerphone. You can take and receive calls on the computer through the phone also. And the third is handoff. And handoff is like if you're composing an email on your phone and you stop in the middle, all the way on the left side of your dock, you should see a little icon for email that you have an icon, email in progress. And you should be able to click it and continue writing on the computer. So, in other words, you could hand it off from device to device mid. Right? It works with email. It works with iMessage. It works with web pages. If you're surfing something on your phone, you should be able to use handoff to hand it off to the computer. Now, that one only works with recent iMacs, ones that have Bluetooth 4.0. I don't know if yours is recent enough to have Bluetooth 4.0, but mine aren't. Neither one. So that doesn't work with my Macs. It does work with my iPad. I could be typing something on my iPad and switch to my iPhone, and it's right there, to continue.
How would I tell?
How could you tell if you have Bluetooth 4?
Yeah.
You have to if you Google handoff Mac, I'm sure there's a list of years.
I don't remember.
Which year? Well, then you could find out which year. Which year support? How to check if you support handoff? You go to About This Mac and if you go to About This Mac and you go to System Report in the overview, in the Bluetooth section, if it says Bluetooth Low Energy supported, yes, then your Mac supports Bluetooth LE and handoff should work right off the bat. So you go to the Apple, you go to About This Mac, you go to System Report, and Bluetooth is the third thing down, and Bluetooth Low Energy supported is like the third one down, and mine says no. Find all that?
Mine says no.
Okay, so
handoff. No.
So handoff won't work with you either.
Aw, that was like
Those other two things do work, though.
That was like my favorite thing.
Yeah, we'll all need new Macs. And I thought about buying a Bluetooth 4.0 dongle that plugs into USB.
Yeah.
And I think it's more difficult than just doing that. There's ways to do it, but you have to kind of hack the system to get that to work.
Right.
So, yeah, even that is not a great solution. Maybe they'll add it when they update Yosemite a bunch of times, but I think it really has to do with Bluetooth, and our computers will never have Bluetooth 4.
No.
So what we need to do is we need to go buy some Retina iMacs, the brand new 27-inch Retina iMacs.
I don't know about that, man.
With the 5K screens.
Oh, it sounds nice though.
It does. I'm not getting one. They're really not people like us. They're for like graphic designers and video editors.
Yeah, that's what they used to say about just a plain old Mac.
That's true. That's true. I may, who knows? If I have $2,500, the next time I need a new Mac, maybe. I mean, the cheapest they go to is $1,699. So it's almost double. It's almost $1,000 more for the Retina.
Right.
So let's take our break.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play a song, and we'll be right back.
Menu in his hand, walking through the streets of Soho in the rain. He was looking for a place called Eho Fooks, gonna get a big dish of beef chow mein. Oh, where was London? Where was London?
James Hurley.
You hear him howling around your kitchen door. You better not let him in. Little old lady got mutilated late last night. Werewolves of London again. Werewolves of London. He's the hairy-handed gent who ran amok in Kent. Lately he's been overheard in Mayfair. You better stay away from him. He'll rip your lungs out, Jim. I'd like to meet his tailor. Oh, werewolves of London. Oh, werewolves of London. Well, I saw Lon Chaney walking with the Queen, doing the werewolves of London. I saw Lon Chaney Jr. walking with the Queen, doing the werewolves of London. I saw a werewolf drinking a pina colada at Trader Vic's. His hair was perfect. Werewolf of London. Drop one. Werewolves of London.
We are back. That was a short song. Oh, you're still muted.
So I didn't know we were back because I was fucking around, like listening to the song, and I went to our webpage, like nottheshow.com, folks. Go there, and I clicked the live, and I pulled up the YouTube page because I've never watched it like live on the YouTube. So I pulled that up, and like actually I still have it up now. I'm looking at you on the YouTubes, and like so there's a bit of a delay.
Yeah, sure.
And so the song was still going, and you were like, we're back. And I'm just like, but the song's still... I was like, oh, wait. I was like, we're not back. The song's still going.
So both of those songs were in honor of Halloween because it's a few days before.
Yeah, the first one was Warren Zevon. No, the second one was Warren Zevon, the one we just heard. His hair was perfect. And the other one was Jumpin' Gene Simmons, not the Kiss Gene Simmons, though. There's like some old guy named Gene Simmons. I don't know if he was old when he did that song. I love that song so much, that first one, Haunted House. Yeah. I'm a little older than you, but not enough older than you that you should possibly remember. You remember K-Tel Records?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and they had the commercials, and they had like, like Hey Soul Classics.
Yeah.
Borrow your copy of Hey Soul Classics. No, yes. My brother, you must get your own. But they always had like records that were supposed to be either scary or just funny. And Haunted House was like on almost every single one of them.
Cool.
Haunted House, Hello Mudda, Hello Fada was on every single album, no matter what it was about. There were a bunch that were on every... Like, They're Coming to Take Me Away was on every K-Tel album. It was on Hey Soul Classics.
Good songs.
Yeah.
I'm going to a party this year.
Nice.
I'm going to dress as Silent Bob.
I may dress as Silent Bob as well.
I grew back the beard just because I need the beard for Silent Bob. I had the goatee for a while, right? But I needed to be the Silent Bob beard.
Yeah, but you need to shave entirely now.
Well, oh yeah, I know he shaved.
He shaved.
Doesn't work for the costume though.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
But I know he shaved.
Yeah, actually, I should probably not trim myself up any if I'm going to do that. I'm probably not going to do that though. I don't think I'm going to do anything interesting.
It's a simple costume. I've done it before. I have a trench coat, but nothing fits me anymore. I lost a bunch of weight, so my trench coat is like giant on me, and I have a black sweatshirt. He wears a black sweatshirt with a white T-shirt under it in Clerks. I guess you can't really tell in Clerks, but in color pictures from Clerks. My trench is so big on me. But I mean, he was big then, so I'm figuring I'll play it off as big.
You need a Mooby hat.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go down to Red Bank and buy one.
Really? Nice.
Yeah, it's only 30 minutes from here to the secret stash, and I know they carry them. It was too late. When I thought of it, I have 100 hats, and when I thought of getting one that makes it more obvious who I am, what I'm supposed to be, which is a Mooby hat, kind of makes it more obvious. Right. By then, it was too late to order it. I could have ordered it easily and had it shipped, but I think I'll just drive down there maybe Saturday morning or something.
Egg-a-Mooby muffin.
Yeah.
You need to have an Egg-a-Mooby muffin.
Maybe I'll go tomorrow after work. They close at 6. I gotta get there before 6.
That's early.
Yeah. No, they close on Fridays. They close an hour later, but only Fridays, and they open late. They don't open till like 10 or something like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's Halloween. I'm not a big Halloween person, but I'm gonna go to a party. I figure I might as well wear something.
I'm thinking about going to to hang out with a bunch of geeks that I've never met before, like that I've joined their group on Meetup.com.
Okay, is this the D&D people?
No, this is like different group of geeks.
Geeks are fun.
Yeah, some of them are. Some of them are trying.
Yep.
Like there's one of my. Hopefully he doesn't listen to the podcast. I don't want him to get upset, but man, bro's crazy. All right, I'm just gonna talk about it. I'm an event. All right, so you've played Dungeons and Dragons, Joe?
Yes.
I'm hoping that some of our listeners have played Dungeons and Dragons. It's like bro like decides he's gonna be like a paladin, and that's cool. Like all right, be a paladin, bro. But he's got poison daggers that he uses strictly as defensive weapons. Strictly as defensive weapons, and he's bionic.
I ever heard one.
Yeah, he's bionic.
Okay.
He used to be a rogue, and then he got killed, and a cleric, a wizard, and Oscar Goldman, I guess, brought him back from the dead and gave him bionics. So like session 1, I was just like, I mean, I don't even want to DM these people because I was looking for a game to play.
Right.
So like session 1 is just me and him. So I'm just like, man, all right. So what do your bionics do? He's just like, well, he can run like 40 miles in like 5 seconds, and I'm just like, yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. Like, I'll let you move 2 more squares. Like, you can move two squares, like extra. He's like, oh, all right. I was like, what about the bionic eye? And he's like, telling me all sorts of crap. And I'm just like, nah, man, I'll give you like +2 on your perception checks. Like, I'll do that for you because, I don't know. I'm feeling generous today.
It's got to have some sort of meaning in the game. It just can't just be random. I could go 40 miles an hour.
Right, and it's like if he thinks he can like lift up he can lift 3,000 pounds. I'm like, no, you can't. It's like especially if you're playing with other people. It's like there's got to be some game balance. It's not like these other people didn't come to play to be your like cheerleaders.
Right.
They came because they want part of the action. So it's like
it's got to have some kind of correlation to
generous.
It's got to have some kind of correlation to the numbers, correlation to his stats. Like a weapon that gives you like a gauntlet of super strength doesn't just make you super strong and make you be able to kill everything.
Right.
It gives you a certain number of points added to your strength to help you. But bionics have to be the same way.
Exactly. Especially since this is like D&D, and it's like, I mean, sure, it's like a fantasy game, and I could say if there are bionics in this world.
Sure.
But that's not someplace I'm generally going to go.
For example, a submarine in a D&D world.
Yes. Have you been listening to the Drunks and Dragons podcast?
I have.
Yes, excellent. I knew the second you said submarine.
Yeah, that's why I said it. So yeah, I've been listening. I listened, I don't know, maybe the last 4 or 5. They were away, right? They had a bunch that they were back recorded, and I think I heard all of their back recorded episodes, and then now they're back live recording again anyway. And I heard the last one. I'm up to date, I think, except for whatever I have right now, this week's.
Now, did you start with episode 1?
No, I started it with whatever they were at.
Okay.
When I started, 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, maybe 5 episodes ago.
Okay.
They were already fighting about whether to save the guy's sister or go after the Necronomicon. It was before they got in the submarine. Before any of that happened, so they were still arguing. And you know what I like about it is they play the way, and very entertaining. They are entertaining people.
Yes.
And that's what makes it entertaining to listen to them. Also, and probably entertaining to play together because it's not just we walk to the nearest town and wait for the next encounter where we then fight something and roll dice, right? And that's a flaw sometimes with D&D is if you don't have the right people playing, that's all it ends up being is we go north for 200 miles and tell us what we run into so we can roll dice and be excited for ourselves for killing something.
Right.
They go into character. They use voices. Their personalities stay true. Like the one girl who's obsessed with one of the guys and is always saying nice things about him, or I don't remember the names of the characters, but she's always saying he could do it, or whatever his name is. That kind of stuff.
Right. You're probably talking about Jayla.
Probably,
Very
yeah.
positive. I support Drunks and Dragons on Patreon.
Right.
And I got my first shot glass for my donation.
Cool.
I really shouldn't be spending money on supporting a podcast, even for like a cool shot glass. But it's very entertaining. I love the hell out of it.
Did they ever mention you in the show? Because they mentioned people's names in the last episode that I heard.
Not yet, but they will be. As long as they stick to their word, they will be.
Cool.
And I'll also get to name an NPC.
Nice.
I'm still trying to think of a really good name. I'm trying to think of something that's kind of like, that's right for my idiom. But yeah, because it's like my favorite podcast, and once I caught up, I got sick of like waiting every week for like new episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So I download like 4 or 5 episodes a day,
Okay.
and I listen to them at work. Like I'm re-listening to the podcast.
Oh, you like it a lot.
I do. I really do. It's very funny.
They are. They're good. They're good. They're good at the game, and they're good. And they're amusing in general. It's like we had that. We used to get that sometimes when we played with our group, right? We occasionally we laughed a lot, and your NPCs were helpful always with that aspect of the game, the actual role playing, not the melee and things like that. And there's arrow in the ass kind of stuff. It went over the top at some points, and it would be annoying sometimes. But that's the kind of thing that makes the game interesting, and not just moving pieces around on an imaginary board and dice.
Yeah, I'm very into like the role play aspect of it. I've been trying to push when I play with John and the kids and Angela. I've been getting a little more, trying to get them into more RP. Doing a little more role playing. In fact, I've invented it's called the Mondo Point system, and if you do excellent like role playing, you get a Mondo Point. I'm going to rename it. I don't know what to call it at the moment, so it's a Mondo Point. And the idea being, if you're doing like some awesome role playing and like in character, you'll get a Mondo Point, and they are redeemable for things like extra rolls of dice. So it's like, if you roll a 1 at a crucial moment, like you can possibly trade in a Mondo Point and get a reroll. Like you won't get an automatic hit or anything, but you get a reroll.
That's nice. I like that.
Yeah, because I want to get them more into a character and stuff.
Sure. It teaches them how to play better by encouraging them to do more role playing.
Right. I got a cat in front of me. Can you see your tail?
Especially the kids, yeah. So, especially the kids who haven't played before.
Right. She was fine. But anyway, this guy with his paladin, his poison-wielding bionic paladin. So I totally power him down, and I'm just like, look, and I'm being really generous. It's like you have +2 on your athletics checks because you got bionics. You got +2 on your perception, and I still got to shoot him down like all the time. He's just like, well, I'm gonna like, he's like, I pick up the chest with my bionic arms, and I'm just gonna lift it over my head. There's no reason for that because it's just a chest on the ground. Like, why are you picking it up anyway? Like, open the lid. All right, you want to pick up the chest? I'm like, roll an athletics check. So he rolls his athletics check and he fails. He only got +2. So I was like, all right. So you try to pick it up and you're like, no. I was like, yeah, you can't get it up. And like, someone else was like, I'm just gonna open the chest. But he tried to jump onto the roof of something, and he failed that roll. And was like, roll, and he failed that roll, and I was like, everybody else just kind of sees you like, you hop, like, you're like, and you go nowhere. But I kept telling him I had a problem with the poison daggers. I'm like, you're a paladin. I'm like, there's a lawful good character, like, you worship the dragon god Bahamut, who is lawful good, and he's not going to like you using poison. That's not his bag. So, he tried to defend it at one point. He came to me and he said, look at it like this. He's like, a policeman has a gun that he only uses to defend people, and it's like the same thing. And I'm like, it's not the same thing. That's why you have a longsword. I was like, your comparison, like if you want to use a cop, that'd be like saying, well, a cop has a longsword he's using to defend people, but sometimes he whips out like a syringe full of like Drano, and like sticks it in somebody's neck. It's like it doesn't. Cops don't do that. So it's like, anyway. Last week I had another paladin, a dragonborn paladin, come in and basically tell him that he was sent by their god to tell him he should knock it off or bad things would happen. I thought he was going to fight me a little more on it.
Yeah.
Hopefully he doesn't listen to the podcast because I'm going to spoilers, but I don't think he does. I don't even think I really mentioned it, but he does follow me on Facebook, but still he probably won't listen. So this guy was like, bro, no more poison daggers. And I was planning if he was going to fight me on this and like continue to use them, then he'd start losing his powers, his paladin abilities.
No.
And start taking him away until he gave up on the poison or just became an assassin because that's what he kind of wants to do. So he got all mad and he said, like, whip out the daggers. And I was like, oh my God, he's going to attack this guy. But then he threw them in the sewer from inside the bar. And I was like, all right, roll an athletics check to see if they get in the sewer, man. I don't know if to. And he rolled good. So I was like, yeah, they go into the sewer. And so he no longer has his poison daggers. He's not happy about it. He doesn't have them.
Okay.
What he doesn't know is that the zombies they were about to start fighting were all headed into the sewers. Like that's where they're going because that's where the guy who's reanimating them lives. And the second he threw them into the sewers, I'm just like, man, them zombies are going to find those poison daggers. And I said, I can hardly wait until next week.
That's funny.
The zombies come walking up with poison daggers.
I like that.
Dude's a little awkward. He's a nice guy, but he's a little awkward. I get the impression that he used to only play. He's only mentioned playing with his brother and his cousin, and I think they just let him do whatever he wanted. And he was like, "Well, I'm going to be a paladin with poison dagger and bionics," and they were just like, "Whatever you want, buddy."
This doesn't work.
Right. So.
And you let us get away with stuff like before, but that's just seems a bit over the top.
Yeah, I like letting people get away with things because sometimes it's funny. Sometimes it's fun. It makes the game a little more exactly. It makes things a little more creative. But yeah, there are like certain things you can't, you just can't do. Like if you wanted to have a pet duck and your pet duck could make a beak attack, like every other round, and like take someone's eye out and it's like duck beak, I'd be like, that sounds like it might be funny. I'll allow that. But if you're going to tell me, like, well, I have this dragon, he's an ancient red dragon, he follows me around, and he just roasts anyone who messes with me, obviously I'm going to be like, yeah, no. You can have an imaginary red dragon follow you around. Our listeners are like, man, he really is a geek, isn't he? I got all crazy about Dungeons and Dragons for a minute, didn't I?
Just a little. Don't worry about it.
I love playing Dungeons and Dragons, though. It's great. And I love the Drunks and Dragons podcast. Our listeners should listen to that podcast after they listen to our podcast.
Yes, they should. It's good.
And if you got the kind of job where you can listen to podcasts, folks, I would recommend definitely get on board now, but go back to episode 1 and listen from the beginning because the whole story, it's like it's an ongoing story. It's like everything that's still happening now. They're almost at episode 100. I mean, this all started like way back in episode 1. Ding! I dinged on my iPhone.
Text message.
Yep. iPhone.
So I think that's enough.
Yeah, holy crap. I got to get up in a couple of hours.
Yeah, I know we have all this news, but I think we can call that a show.
Yeah, well, you know what? I want to do this just because I don't think we really mentioned it. And it was like breaking news today. But Marvel has absolutely released everything that's happening with Phase 3.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting the Inhumans. We're getting the Ms. Marvel movie. We're definitely getting Doctor Strange. We're getting some Black Panther. Captain America will be Captain America: Civil War, where he will definitely be fighting Tony Stark on some level. Robert Downey Jr. was confirmed for the movie. Guardians of the Galaxy got pushed back to May from the summer date. Thor's taken that summer slot, and Guardians of the Galaxy is getting an earlier slot.
And Avengers 3 is going to be split into 2 movies.
Yes, and it's going to be Avengers: Infinity War. So yeah, it's like, I mean, we all knew where this was going. Like anyone who's read the books and Infinity Gems, Infinity Stones, like we knew it had to go this way.
Yes.
And now we've got confirmation that it is 2 movies. Yeah, Infinity War 1, Infinity War 2.
Maybe we'll watch the Age of Ultron trailer next week because the trailer looks great.
Yeah, and actually we'll have a better trailer next week probably because I guess there was going to be more footage in the trailer that they were going to air during tonight's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So.
Right, because there was a leak, they put out a shortened version, right?
Right. Because they were just like, screw it. Like, we can be like We can be like Quentin Tarantino and whine and just say, well, no, we're not even going to make the movie. But they were just like, yeah, somebody leaked it. Well, here you go. It's better quality. Yeah, so we're going to get another one tonight during Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Next time, we should. I would like to say we should probably talk about some more of that stuff. And maybe I'd like to talk about Walking Dead. Have you been watching this season?
No, but I've been recording them because I didn't watch the second half of last season, and I was debating whether to bother to watch the second half of last season because I hear that jumping in the beginning of this season is pretty okay because it was a big beginning.
I would recommend if you stopped watching halfway through.
As soon as the governor showed up, I stopped watching as soon as the governor showed up.
Okay, I would recommend. If you don't want to binge watch all those episodes, you can pretty much get away without watching all of them. Catch up on like Wikipedia or something.
Yeah.
And then watch the last episode of last season because that was fantastic.
Okay.
And it's very important if you're going to start watching from the first episode of this season.
I might. I mean, I have so many shows now. I added like Flash and Gotham to my same ones I was watching last year, and we got fucking Arrow and Sons of Anarchy.
I've been watching that Arrow.
Yeah, you've been watching Arrow?
I've been watching. We can talk more about it next time, but yeah, I'm digging it. I am digging Arrow.
We may have to. The fun thing about Arrow is figuring out who all the other superheroes, because everyone on that show becomes some kind of a superhero or supervillain.
Yeah.
Right, like there's another Arrow. There's like the Red Arrow, and there's like girls. Both the sisters become Arrows at some point or another, or become heroes at some point or another, and that's kind of neat stuff. And Ra's al Ghul's involved, and that means all the DC characters are involved in that show.
I also want to talk about Constantine. Did you watch Constantine?
I did. I watched Constantine. And the problem with all of this, I should make some notes on that. We want to catch up on all this stuff.
Okay.
The problem with all of that is that it's winter movie draft time.
Oh.
And movies are going to start, like Big Hero 6 is, I think, the first movie in the winter movie draft. And that comes out November 7th. So that means next week we may have to do the movie draft, which precludes doing all this other stuff. It also means we should probably definitely try and get a show in before November 7th, which I think is what we're going to try and do. I asked my friends that want to participate in the game if they're available, and so far I'm getting yeses for Monday to do the movie draft.
Nice.
Right. So during this week I'll set up the list, and I'll confirm with all of them, and I'll make sure they can get Google Hangouts working on their computers so that we can have all that set up to go for Monday night's show. And we're going to try and commit to Monday night because I think at least two of them said Mondays is best for them anyway. So we'll try and keep it for Monday next week.
Works for me.
As long as that's not a problem for you.
No, it shouldn't be.
Good. Okay. So, so we'll definitely talk about all that stuff. All of it. We'll have a couple more episodes of Constantine under our belts, and maybe there'll be more to talk about then too.
We may be done with Doctor Who by then. We can also do like a Doctor Who wrap-up.
That's true, because Doctor Who has a finale left, but a two-parter, so it's this week and next week.
All right.
That's only the finale before there's new episodes after Christmas again, isn't there?
Just the Christmas episode, I think.
Oh, this is it. Short season. It feels like a short season.
We'll have to check on that.
Yeah.
We'll get back to you, Internet.
Yeah. All right. So.
Or Google it.
Yeah, let's call it a show, and you can find us at anothershow.com. Follow us on Twitter at Another Show, Facebook Another Show, Facebook.com/AnotherShow. I am at Ojoey on Twitter. Mondo is at Dharmabob. Do you want me to play that third song to close us out, or do you want to play Haunted House again?
No, let's play that third song. This and I gotta give a little intro to it. Not much of an intro. It's this is by Skip Piper. He's a local musician in the Hudson Valley, New York. And I love this song. I eventually wound up finding a crappy YouTube version of it, and I converted it so that I could listen to it. And I just want to say who it was by and stuff. So it was Skip Piper who's going to do this song, taking us out.
Cool. Good night, buddy. I'll talk to you next week.
All right, man. Night.
year. It's fucking Halloween. They're the werewolves. Full moon glows, adrenaline flows inside my veins. Torn by something deep inside from which I can't refrain. Without provocation, but for the comfort and joy. Satiate my hunger for a while, but I'll be more. Answer love of wild with an orgy of pain. Don't know why I bow to this evil without a name. My God, my soul will surely be damned, but such is the fate of a teenage werewolf. Started about 13, that's when I learned the real lust. Don't always want to hurt them, but somehow I know I must. These guys will gentle, Lord, if they only. I'm holding back such evil, something's bound to slither through. Answer of the wild, with an orgy of pain. Don't know why I bow. This evil without a name. My God, my soul surely be damned. But such is the fate of the teenage werewolf. The blood that's on my face and hands is all that's left of her. I felt flesh, my cock got hard, the rest is all a blur. How can I explain that in my brain there's something wrong? Try to keep appearances up, but that won't last for long. And for the cause wild in an orgy of pain. Don't know why I fell to this evil without a name. My God, my soul will surely be damned. But such is the fate of a teenage werewolf, 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 werewolf.
man. Game over, man.